All right, you clicked on this video because you want to know about voicemail scripts. What works? What doesn't? Am I wasting my time? Should I even leave a voicemail? Yeah, you should. You're going to sit through a few minutes with me. By the way, hi, if we haven't met before, my name is Matt Easton. I'm the founder of Easton University. It's the most effective sales coaching in the world. We're actually going to jump in to a segment right out of our training at eastonuniversity.com that's going to show you on these voicemail scripts what works, what doesn't. Take notes. Watch this like 3 or 4 times. This one single video is going to probably make you at least $250,000, $500,000, if not millions of dollars. The folks that are on eastonuniversity.com that are employing these tools and the thousands of other tools that we're teaching, that we're drilling, that we're practicing, are making, plenty of them are making well over 7 figures. That's well over $1 million a year in sales. It's very easy to do when you have the right skill sets, all right? So let's jump in right now to voicemail scripts, what works, what doesn't. Grab a pen, grab a piece of paper, take some notes. Your life's about to get a lot better. Oh, and wait, I almost forgot. What do I want in return? I want $750,000. No, you don't have to pay me a dime. Here's what I would like. If you get any use out of this video at all, please smash that like button. I love it, makes me feel good. And consider subscribing to this channel. I'm gonna be dropping bombs of knowledge on you every day to help you get better, to help you have more fun, to help you make a lot more money. So please hit that subscribe button. Let's run through some power scripts. Now, I know you probably hate the word scripts, as do I. But again, we want to be skillful. We want to follow a flow. We want to follow a process. So I'm going to use the term scripts, but I'm using that loosely. These are not the, typical, hello, my name is Rick. I am calling to save you 45% on your car insurance. When I say scripts, that's not what I mean. I think you're aware of that, but I want to make sure that we're clear so that you embrace these scripts, because these are really tools, these are really skills that are going to help you. What I'm about to cover is going to help you both in terms of cold calling, in terms of follow-up, when you have to leave a voicemail in a cold call situation, when you have to leave a voicemail in a follow-up situation. And what's really neat about the tools that we teach at Easton University is these are going to still work if somebody answers the phone. So again, you're not having to memorize 10,000 different scenarios and all of these things work. So let's cover some of these power tips right now. Before we get started, your first power tip, this is critical, this is vital for you. You have to fix your outgoing message on your voicemail. What? I thought we were gonna learn about cold calling. I thought we were gonna learn about follow-up. I thought we were gonna learn about voicemails when they answer. Yeah, we are, but none of that matters if somebody calls you back and there's no voicemail message at all, or it just says your phone number. This makes you look incredibly unprofessional and you lose all of this credibility. You have to remember, as we're working in sales, as we're working in business development, we need to have a very high level of credibility, authority. Wow, this is somebody I want to do business with. And our prospects, they're constantly going to be looking at us as if, man, is this the right person to work with? Is this a scam? Is this a ripoff? Do I really want to call this person back? The last thing that we want to do when they call us back is lose all our credibility with that robot voicemail. You've reached 555-55555, the thing that comes out of the box, okay? So fix your outgoing message. Here's what I would like it to be. It sounds like this. You've reached Matt. Your call is very important to me. Please leave a message or send a text on how I can best respond, and that's exactly what I'll do. Let's say you wanted to use your name, your full name, and your title in your company. I'm okay with that as well. You've reached Matt Easton, founder of Easton University. Your call is very important to me. Please leave a message or send a text on how I can best respond, and that's exactly what I'll do. Listen to the cadence and the tonality of my voice. Notice there's no background noise. Go to a quiet place and record, steal it from me, that exact same message. You're going to find people are going to start leaving you messages when they call you. You don't need to have it be a long-winded thing. You don't need to say, I'm sorry I missed your call. Never apologize for you being business. Just be very clear, be very consistent, and have a great, calm, yet highly credible tonality. You've reached Matt. Your call is very important to me. Please leave a message or send a text on how I can best respond, and that's exactly what I'll do. Beep, that's it. Okay, we have knocked out your outgoing message. Now, let's talk about mistakes that we make when we're cold calling. Mistakes that we make when we're following up. Number one first mistake. We don't leave a message if we're cold calling. We don't leave a voicemail message. So, there's managers out there that are teaching their people, don't leave a voicemail message, Ricky. Just keep calling them and they'll think their grandma's dying and finally answer the phone. That's not a skillful way for you to develop and grow your business. That's not a skillful way to get you to the income levels that I want to see you get at. And when we're on our weekly live calls, I want to hear about all the money you're making. If you're calling people and hanging up and not leaving a voicemail, you're not going to make the level of monies that people at Easton University are accustomed to making. Okay, so let's leave a voicemail. The other problem when we're leaving voicemails is we drop an F-bomb. I'm just following up. I'm just checking in with you. Following up, checking in. Horrible things to say. You're never going to say that. Even though you're making up follow-up calls, even though you're checking in with your prospects, when you say those words, following up and checking in, your credibility goes down. And again, I think about this stuff so you guys don't have to. You're then creating a relationship where it's like tennis without another person playing, where you're just serving the ball, bump, 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 and it just goes away. Nobody hits it back to you. Because when you say words like I'm just following up or checking in, what you're telling that person is I will continue to serve the ball to you until you decide it's a good time to answer the phone. I will continue to follow up. I will continue to check in. We're establishing that our job is to follow up and check in with them, and their job is to answer the phone whenever they freaking feel like it. That's not a good relationship to establish, okay? The other thing, when we say things like I'm just following up or I'm just checking in, I want you to also remove that J word, just. Whenever you're using the word just, and catch yourself, whenever you use the word just, I want you to realize all of your authority, all of your credibility goes down. You are now weak. I'm just hoping that just maybe if you weren't just doing anything, that maybe you and I could just grab a cup of coffee. You sound weak. You sound pathetic, okay? So we want to eliminate the word just. You want a trick of doing this? This is what I did. And I'm not perfect at not saying just, but I'm really good. I went and took $100, went to the bank, got it in fives. $25 bills. Every time I used the word just, I had to take a 5 out, give it to somebody. Whoever the person was around me, here's $5. It was my way of eliminating the word just. Again, when we say things like I'm just checking in or I'm just following up, we sound desperate, all right? So those are big mistakes that you're going to make. Not leaving a message, saying following up, saying checking in, and using the word just. Let's talk about what we need to do in terms of our voicemail message to be skillful. What we need to do in terms of our follow-up. What we need to do when somebody answers the phone. Okay? The first thing I need you to realize, you are going to be exponentially more successful in your career the sooner that you can get in the habit of always taking the time and thinking about what is my connection to this person. And here's why. Unskillful salespeople, they constantly make calls. They constantly send out cold emails without establishing any connection. And I want you to think about the calls that you receive that you never call back or hang up on or say, I'm in a meeting, I gotta go, are people that haven't established a connection with you. They just jump right in to trying to sell you something. So the first mistake that people make is not having that connection. And what I want you to do is think about each person you're calling. How are you connected with them? Now, some of you may be saying right now, well, I'm not connected with these people at all, hence I want to sell them something. You have to get creative. You have to think beyond your traditional lens of the only way I can be connected with this person if they're a customer of mine. They can be connected with you through LinkedIn. Even if you're not first degree connections, if you're on LinkedIn and they're on LinkedIn, you're connected. You're a first degree, second degree, or third degree connection. I think you're connected to everybody on LinkedIn in that third degree. So it's easy for you to say, hey, we're connected on LinkedIn. They may be a part of the same trade association that you're at. They may be a connection of yours simply because their business is in Houston, Texas, and your territory is in Houston, Texas, allowing you to say, hey, we're connected because I manage all of the accounts in Houston, Texas. You have to be able to figure out, what is my connection to this person? Is it we attended an event? Is it they bought from us 3 years ago? Is it they called in 7 months ago? Is it that we're part of the same trade association? Or is it as simple as they're an accounting firm and you're in charge of servicing all accounting firms in Texas? Okay, establish your connection. The next thing that I want you to do, whether they're answering the phone or you're leaving a voicemail, is you're going to say these 3 big things: who you are, what you do, and how you're connected. It sounds like this. Hey Bob, Matt Easton, founder of Easton University. You and I are connected on LinkedIn. Hey Mike, Steve Adams. I'm in charge of all of the CPA accounts in Houston for Acme Software. Whatever it is that you do, I want you to start both your voicemails and when they answer with who you are, what you do, and how you are connected. Next thing I need you to think about is, how do you elevate your level of credibility? Even if this is your first sales job, even if you're an inside sales rep, even if your job is just to be an appointment setter, you need to establish your credibility. There's 2 ways of doing that. One, you can lie and say, oh, I'm the CEO of the company. I'm the smartest person in the world. Please don't do that. I don't want you to lie. That is a disaster. There's a great way where you can take your credibility way up without having to make any lies or inferences that your job title is different than it is. And that is, you simply say these words. I wanted to reach out to you personally. Listen to how I'm saying that. I wanted to reach out to you personally. Only an important person would say, I wanted to reach out to you personally. A appointment setter is going to jump right in. We help companies like yours increase 5%. If I could just have 5 minutes of your time. Notice how you're sounding different, even if you are an appointment setter. Hey Matt, Brad Adams. I run all of our new customer relationships here at Acme. You and I are connected on LinkedIn. I wanted to reach out to you personally. Listen to how different that sounds. Listen to how organic. Organic meaning just rolled out. It just came off. You're not reading from a script. That's incredibly organic, and your authority sounds terrific. You've said who you are, what you do, how you're connected, and you've said, I wanted to reach out to you personally. Now that you've said all of that, who you are, how you're connected, you wanted to reach out to them personally, now you can simply, whether this is a voicemail that you're leaving or they've answered the phone, jump into the reason for your call. And here's a huge mistake that so many people make when they're leaving sales voicemails, when they're cold calling, when they're following up. They speak too much. They create some sort of mini sales pitch. It sounds like this. Hey Matt, Mike Adams here with Acme. If I could just have 5 minutes of your time, I'd love to show you how we can reduce Easton University's advertising expenses by 85 to 90%. If you can give me a call here, that would be great. Listen to the difference. Hey Matt, Mike Adams. I run all of our new business relationships here at Acme. You and I are connected on LinkedIn. Hey, I've got an idea that I'd love to get your opinion on. Can you call me on my mobile, 555-5555? Okay, so that's a great thing to put in after you've said who you are, how you're connected, and that you want to reach out to them personally, is that you have an idea you want to get their opinion on. Everybody in life wants to give their opinion. We love giving our opinion. Makes us feel important, doesn't it? Wow, somebody wants my opinion. Let me call Mike Adams back. Much more powerful than if you've got 5 minutes of your time. That is weak. That is pathetic, okay? So the one bolt that you can add in there is, I've got an idea, wanted to get your opinion on. That's a great voicemail, okay? Also works when you're calling somebody. You're going to say who you are, how you're connected. Pause, sounds like this, ring, ring, ring. Hello, hey, Jennifer, Matt Easton, founder of Easton University. You and I are connected on LinkedIn. Oh yeah, hey Matt, how's it going? How's it going? That's what they're gonna say all the time, right? It's going great, going great. Hey, I had an idea I'd love to get your opinion on. Pause. Yeah, sure, what is it? See how now the conversation can roll. Now, if it's a voicemail, of course, you don't have to do any of those pauses. Okay, so same beginning, who we are, how we're connected, wanted to reach out to them personally. but let's give another one besides just, I've got an idea I want to get your opinion on. And that is, does it make sense to blank? So let's say you need them to do something. Instead of asking them if they want to do it, instead of wondering why they haven't called you back, just simply say, does it make sense? And then fill in the blank. When I ask you if something makes sense, I'm not putting any pressure on you. I'm not being manipulative. I'm not being salesy. And that's something that a very credible, high authority person would call. Somebody that's not desperate, that doesn't care either way, would ask if you think it makes sense because they don't want to waste their time. So it sounds like this. Hey, Bob, Matt Easton, founder of Easton University, calling to see if it makes sense to get that contract signed today. So when you want them to do something, just say, calling to see if it makes sense to schedule that 10-minute webinar that we had talked about with your team to give them some useful insights. Calling to see if it makes sense to add our new accounting module to your account. Can you give me a call on my mobile 720-660-3202? I'm calling to see if it makes sense to blank. You're going to find the person is going to be much more receptive and much more willing to do the thing you want them to do when you ask them if it makes sense versus, hey, you know that promotion's expiring really soon. We need to jump on this, right? Calling to see if we want to schedule that 10-minute webinar with your team. All of that sounds salesy. I'm calling to see if it makes sense to schedule a 10-minute webinar where we can give your team some insights. That's how you deliver, does it make sense to blank. Here's my 2 favorite words when you're following up with somebody. I know you can't use these when you're cold calling because it's your first call to them, but if you're following up with people and you've been through the rest of the Easton University training, you know how important it is to be NSO, next step obsessed. When you've scheduled a next step, you're going to circle back with them Friday at 2:30 p.m. if you haven't heard back from them before then. Okay, now you can be next step obsessed and use my 2 favorite words, as promised. Hey, Monica, Matt Easton, founder of Easton University. As promised, it's 2:30 on Thursday. Calling to see if it makes sense to get your team access to the sales coaching. Curious to get your opinion on that. Can you give me a call on my mobile? 720-660-3202. As promised. Again, when you say as promised, your authority, your credibility goes way up. And we've now communicated this is a mutually agreed upon call, and people love it when it's a mutually agreed upon call. Let's say you're circling back with a prospect that maybe had reached out to your company 6 months ago, 9 months ago, a year ago, or somebody you had a brief conversation with and it wasn't a fit for them then, but you want to retouch that account. You want to reach back out to them. A great way to do that without sounding like a desperate and pathetic person that's now bugging them 6 or 9 months later is to simply start the conversation with a compliment. It sounds like this. Hey, Jennifer, Matt Easton, founder of Easton University. You and I are connected on LinkedIn. I'm not sure if you remember me, but I remember you. Hey, I've got an idea, just came up this morning that I'd love to get your team's opinion on. Can you give me a call on my mobile, 720-660-3202? When you say, I'm not sure if you remember me, but I remember you, all of a sudden they're like, this person likes me, this person admires me, this person remembers me. It's hard to be a jerk to somebody who remembers you. So simply pay them that compliment. This is it with the doesn't make sense. Hey, Mike, Matt Easton, founder of Easton University. We both attended the conference in San Diego last year. I'm not sure if you remember me, but I remember you. I'm calling to see if it makes sense to get your team access to our sales coaching. Could you give me a call on my mobile, 720-660-3202? Listen to how all of those play together. But when time has expired, a great way to recapture the interest of that lead, of that prospect, of that maybe ex-customer is that simple statement of, I'm not sure if you remember me, but I remember you. Now, let's say you didn't talk to them personally. Simply change the me to an us. I'm not sure if you remember us, but I remember you. Or I'm not sure if you remember us, but we remember you. It feels good, and they're going to be a lot less likely to call you back or listen to the rest of what you have to say if they've answered the phone live. So there you have it. Some power tips I wanted to go through with you. Watch this over again and again. I know we've covered a lot of these in other segments of Easton University, but please, these are vital. These are critical. These are the types of tools that not only are you going to sound natural, but it's going to sound organic. It's not going to sound like you're reading from a script, but you're going to have tools that you can use over and over and over again with tremendous success. And that's what all of this is about. It's about making you as successful as possible, as consistently as possible, and giving you tools that you don't have to reinvent the wheel with every single client. All right, so there you have it. Sales voicemail scripts. What doesn't work? What does work? I hope you've gotten a lot out of this. Please save the video, rewatch it, and please, if you haven't already, smash the like button. Smash it 27 times. I don't actually think that doesn't work, but I don't know, try it. And make sure you've subscribed to the channel. If you have any questions at all, give us a call at Easton University, 800-628-1456. We're always in a hurry to help you. I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Hopefully I'll see you over at eastonuniversity.com very soon. Hit the subscribe button. Be great. Get those deals. I love you. Sales reps, managers, business owners, entrepreneurs, what I'm about to tell you, this is gonna hurt, but trust me, it will be well worth it. I want you to think back to that excitement you had when you first got started. Maybe it was your first day. You thought about all of the lives that you were going to change with your amazing product, your business, your service, your solutions. And hey, let's be honest here, you were going to make a lot of money in the process of helping people, helping businesses change their lives. But it didn't work out exactly that way, did it? If you're anything like me, if you're anything like most people in sales, you found it was just a little bit more difficult to close those deals than you thought, or maybe you're struggling right now. Now, I warned you, this is the part that's going to hurt, but in order for this to work, you and I need to be honest with each other. I want you to think about all the reasons that you're not hitting your targets, all the reasons you're not making the sales that you had anticipated making. Is it the economy, your competition, your territory, your pricing? Maybe it's your manager, your product, your service, your solution. Here's the part that's going to hurt. There's a 94% chance it is none of those, and it's time you face reality. The reason why you have to work so hard just to close a single deal has nothing to do with the economy, nothing to do with your competition, your territory, your manager, your product, your price, your service. The reason why it's so hard for you is you simply haven't learned a better sales process. But wait, you've had sales training from your company. Yeah, I did too. You've read some sales books. I read just about every single one of them. Or maybe you're saying to yourself, well, I was always born a salesperson. Nobody is born knowing how to sell more than they're born knowing how to speak Cantonese or fly an F-22 fighter jet. And by the way, the right sales process is a lot easier to learn than a language or flying an airplane, but you still have to learn it. My name is Matt Easton. I'm the founder of Easton University, and if you'll let me coach you, I can show you how to sell more than you've ever imagined without being pushy, without being manipulative, without following some super complex system where you spend more time trying to figure out what stage your deal is in than actually closing deals. If you will let me coach you, you will never, ever, ever, ever find yourself blaming the economy, your products, your price, your manager, your territory, your competition again, because you're going to be in total control of the sales process and the outcomes. I've devoted my life to unlocking the perfect sales process, and I want to coach you the same way I've helped thousands of other people in the exact same position that you are right now sell a reported $3.47 billion, yeah, that's billion with a B, over the last 12 months. I've been where you're at right now. I know how to help you. I can show you in just a matter of minutes what will take you years of trial and error to learn on your own. Now, if you've made it this far, but you're saying to yourself, it can't be that simple, just trying a new sales process alone will not get me to where I want to go. I know exactly what you're feeling. I said those exact same things, and I was wrong. Having the right sales process changed absolutely everything for me. So I want you to do me and yourself this favor and spend just a minute or two over at eastonuniversity.com checking out what we've built. Now, if you spend a couple minutes and you decide that our coaching can't help you, it can't help you change everything about your career, everything about your life, no harm, no foul. You can continue to do things the way you're doing them right now. But just imagine, what if you head over to eastonuniversity.com right now and it connects with you? What if it is that simple? Suddenly everything starts to make sense and everything changes for you. Your career, your income, your goals, your company. You start heading in the direction you always thought you could. Isn't it worth taking a couple minutes and seeing if that might be the case? Easton University is more than a platform. It's more than live coaching with me. It's your future, and you and your future are worth it. Thank you so much for watching. I'm glad you and I have met each other, and I look forward to seeing you over at eastonuniversity.com right now.